This is the fourth step of our project, and we'll be serving the voting home page from our server application. If you remember, in the previous tutorial, we have created this assets folder, and there we completed the index home page, its HTML, CSS and JavaScript. And now it's time to serve this page from our server application. This is the server part that we have completed so far. If you recall our previous tutorials where we just left it at that point, we completed the handle request function, and I'll just show you. This is the handle request function that we were completing, and it is at this point that we left it. We showed some welcome server message to the incoming client. But now we have to send an index HTML page and an image also, and possibly some JavaScript or some JSON also later on. So for this I will have to add a helper function in this file, in this class, so that we are able to serve files. And to simplify my tutorial, I have already added that function, and I will now fold it away and explain the various parts of this function that I have written. The function is marked as private, as you can see here. Send file, listener response, and the path to the file that has to be served. So we have a byte array because the response will be sent as a byte array. If file exists, in that case we extract read all bytes of the file, and once we have all the bytes of the file, we also display to the console the extension of the file that has been requested by the coming client. And here response.content type, this content type of the response is determined by the extension of the file that has been asked. Convert that to lowercase, use a switch expression. You will have to take care of C#11. Have a look at my course where I have discussed the switch expressions. This is a switch expression on the lower extension. This means if the extension is .html, then content type will be set to text/html. If the content type is png, this one; for JSON, this one; and for any other, this discard is for the default. For any other, the extension will be application/octet stream. So this is for the case where file exists. So you can see that this is the if block. That was for the if file exists, and if the file doesn't exist, this else part it will operate, and it will obtain the bytes from this string 404 error. We will not be sending the file, but we will be sending a string, and status code will be set equal to not found. The default status code is OK, 200 OK. We do not need to set it, but if the status code is something else, we also need to set the status code on the response. And after that, response.content length is file bytes.length, the length of the file, and response.output stream.write, all the file bytes will be written to this response stream. So this is the simple function. This will just serve any file that has extension HTML, PNG or JSON, and this is the helper that we have written. And now it's time to send that file. I'm coming back to the place in the handle request where we sent this welcome message. I will delete this so that I can write my new code here. And after deleting, let me now, I have pasted the code and I am now formatting it. And now I will explain this code like what it is doing right now. First of all, the raw URL, it contains slashes in opposite direction. So we will correct the slashes, the direction of the slashes, and we will now obtain the name of the file to send. The request is obviously in this form http slash something slash something. So this is a request that will come. So if this is the localhost part and this is the port part, whatever is after this is the name of the file that we are going to send. So basically we are extracting the part after the last slash of the port. This part is the path to the file that we want to send. In the case of images, it will be, for example, slash by assets slash images slash the image of that tower that you are seeing there. So this path is being extracted through this file to send. And we are echoing here the name of the file that has been asked, console.writeline. If string dot is null or empty, if no file has been asked, then it means that that home page is being asked. So we write file to send equal to assets slash index, and send file will do the sending of the response, everything as we have seen just now. Here this is the send file function, and here it will write everything to the output stream. So this is what we have completed so far, and let us build this project. Build, we'll allow it to build to success, and now it is time to run this project. Let us minimize this. We have built it, and the first thing that you should be doing is that you should be copying the assets folder that we did in the last tutorial. This assets folder should be brought in the debug directory and locate the application, and you will have to right click it to run it as an administrator. And once you run it, you should be able to see a running log of messages listening on this port and waiting for. And now it is like we'll have to open a browser to check whether the page is being served or not. So here is the browser that I have opened and localhost 8090, and we verify that the entire HTML page has been served to us. You can refresh it and let's see that it opens again, and it opens, and we also see the log of requests that waiting file requested .html, .png, and favicon.ico. This we did not add to that list, so a 404 must have been sent to the browser. So the basic point is that in this tutorial we have seen that our home page is now being served by our server, and therefore this code that we have written, it is working perfectly. I'll attach it to the downloads. You can examine it there and have a look at it there. In the next tutorial we'll proceed to our further steps. So we'll close it right now. Thank you.